Welcome back to the Great White North, folks. I've always wanted to start a video off like that. Sorry, hope that's not copyright infringement. For those who are above 40, you may know where that's from. If you don't, well, do some research, and if you do, I salute you. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to be taking a look at some oldies of Pierre and Trudeau, but some goodies. It turns out that Pierre has already bashed Justin Trudeau in the somewhat kind of recent past for taking an $80,000 vacation. Oh, wait, no, that just happened. Oh, no, wait, that was also 8 months ago. Reoccurring theme. Before we get into it, I want to encourage you guys to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet already, as well as remind you that I have a link for buy me a coffee or a beer in the description. I don't know, it's there. I actually forgot that I made that, but thank you to those who have done that. Just a friendly reminder that it is there. And if you don't want to do that, if you want to get something for your money, which I highly suggest, then you could find a Have You Seen Me Justin Trudeau on a milk carton sticker, which is also linked down in the description, or I did not see that coming fan favorite down in the description below. All right, enough about this, enough about that. Let's get into this video here. You have Pierre Poilievre calls on Trudeau to pay back $80,000 vacation. This is, oh, my screen's cutting it off. This is from 8 months ago, folks, 8 months ago. We're going to get into this. We're going to take a look at this video. All right. I know House of Commons isn't in. It's going to be starting back up in a couple of weeks or a few weeks, whatever it is. Just relax. Let's take a look because it's relatable to what's happening right now. And then we're going to take a look at Pierre Poilievre pushing Justin Trudeau in the House of Commons to the point of a tantrum. I don't know. Hard to believe. But is it really? Here we go.
He was gifted $80,000 worth of free accommodations at the villa of a Trudeau Foundation donor. That's what anyone else would have had to pay to stay there over that 9-day vacation. Now, he has a big IOU to those Trudeau Foundation donors, who will obviously be expecting something in return for it. Everyday Canadians pay for their own accommodations when they go on vacation. Will he agree to pay back that $80,000 gift?
Right, Honourable Prime Minister.
This is from 8 months ago. I can't stress that enough. I know, right? It's happening again right now. Is he going to pay back that money? Is he going to pay back the money that he had to dip into the taxpayers' pool for those not one but two planes, the C-144 or whatever the hell India media said it was? Yeah, it's pretty interesting how, I don't know, history repeats itself. Have you heard that one before? That's why it's important to pay attention to politics, as boring as it is sometimes. But that's why you have me. Hopefully you view it that way.
Minister. Mr. Speaker, I went away with my family and my kids to stay with friends that we have known for decades in a...
Down in the comments, I want people to keep track of how many ums and ahs Justin Trudeau says and how many Pierre says. So far, Trudeau has just said one. Keep track in the comments, folks.
Place that I have stayed at many times over the past decades since I was 1 year old, Mr. Speaker. But of course, in all these situations, we work with the Ethics Commissioner to ensure that all the rules are followed, and that happened in this case.
You know this is a little bit older. I know he's cut out a little bit because of my camera, but that's Marco Mendicino. Bye, Felicia. Boy, oh boy, I don't miss him.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Speaker, nobody is raising qualms with the Prime Minister having a vacation. I know it's his favorite thing to do. I had a vacation at the same time. It was a Sunwing package, and I did stay 5 hours waiting at the airport. But that being said, I paid for it myself. I paid for it myself. We're not asking for the Prime Minister to pay for the security. We're not even asking him to pay for his private jet. We're simply asking him to pay the same price any other family who stayed at that resort would pay, so that he doesn't owe anybody anything. Will he pay back that $80,000?
You're right, Honourable Prime.
And recently, because of the rise in controversies, well, especially with this repeat incident happening where he's taking what seems to be a bit of a bribe, when someone gives you something, you kind of feel a little bit in debt, right? Like, here is something, a gift. Don't worry, there's no strings attached. And normally that's the case, but still, as a person receiving the gift, it's like, okay, I hear you. I hear that there are no strings attached and that you don't expect anything or even want anything, but it's a natural human emotion for everybody, except narcissists, to think, What does that person want in return? What can I do? Should I thank them? How could I repay them? How could I thank them? Just that type of behavior. So the fact that Trudeau's received an 80,000, comma, 000. Not $8, not $80, not $800 gift, not even an $8,000 gift. 80,000. That's a year's wage in Canada. That's a lot of money. Well, I mean, a year's wage for certain people, whether you make more or less than that, it's irrelevant. It's still someone's yearly wage. That's a lot of money to just be given as a present, a gift for a vacation when vacations don't normally cost that much. I don't know anybody who would spend that much money unless you're like Jeff Bezos or Elon Musk. I don't know, or Mr. Beast. That's kind of unusual, folks. Kind of unusual. So should Trudeau feel in debt for an $80,000 vacation? I think any normal human being would feel in debt for being given an $80,000 vacation. And Pierre's comments about, we don't expect the prime minister to have to pay for the security detail or even the jet. That makes sense. Like, that is absolutely factual. And mainstream media, every media in the world and every person in the world be like, yeah, that makes sense. You're leading a country. Of course, you need transportation and security. It's the actual cost for the thing. You know, like we pay for our dinners, we pay for our food, we pay for our vacations. It's like normal human stuff. Not the Trudeau. He wants to up taxes for all Canadians so that he could do shit like this. It's frustrating. It is frustrating. Let's keep going.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, these are family friends. My father was godfather to one of their children. Their father was godfather to one of my brothers. Mr. Speaker, these are family friends that we've had for many, many decades, close to 50 years. And over those 50 years, I have been to that vacation spot many, many times with my family, with my father when he was still alive. But of course, Mr. Speaker, we worked with the Ethics Commissioner to make sure all rules were followed. And we followed all the practices in regards to prime ministerial travel, including, unfortunately, having security along with us, which is a requirement for all prime ministers of any party.
Hear, hear.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
And we all agree the prime minister should have security. We have no problem with him having friends, and my friends might buy me a cup of coffee or a beer, but not an $80,000 gifted vacation that obviously comes with an IOU. This came from wealthy Trudeau Foundation donors who live in Bermuda, a long way away for his friends. And now these people will have inordinate influence on him. He works for them rather than working for the Canadian people. Will he get rid of this IOU and clear his conscience by paying for his own vacation?
You're right.
All right. That couldn't have made any more sense. And you know what? If you're still thinking somehow this far into the video, 8-9 minutes, whatever we are into this video, I'm not convinced that Trudeau would feel that he has an IOU held over him. Haha, I guess you've never received a fairly expensive gift. I mean, a lot of people, maybe Christmas time, your birthday, you get something nice, and you might be in a position where you've never been treated that way. And I'm sorry, not that people should spoil you with gifts that are hundreds or thousands of dollars, but it does happen from time to time, from family, from friends, from loved ones, whatever it is. 80,000 is a lot of money, folks. That's a year's wage. That could be 2 years' wage. That's a lot of freaking money. So yeah, even for a prime minister, even for a president, even for a politician, even for like a very wealthy person, that's a big gift. Even Joe Rogan only receives like $15,000 watches from his buddies, which, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of money for not only a watch, but a gift. But this is a lot more money than that.
Honourable Prime Minister.
I don't think Canadians are worried about the leader
Yes,
of
we
the
are.
opposition's friends who buy him a cup of coffee. I think the Canadians
No, we're
are
not.
worried about his billionaire friends that he's using to attack local news for Canadians right across the country. His issues.
Okay, let's settle this. Hi, everybody who's watching this video. Please let me know down in the comments if you're worried about Pierre Poilievre's billionaire friends, which she's probably referring to Elon Musk, who has been pretty vocal about the Trudeau communist regime here in Canada. If that worries you at all. Are you worried about Pierre Poilievre's billionaire friends? Please let me know down in the comments. Like, let's just solve that right now.
with the CBC has brought him to involve American tech giants to try and attack the local news, the local culture, the francophone news that Canadians rely on from coast to coast to coast. Yes, we have our disagreements in this place, but when he goes running to his billionaire tech giant friends to try and attack Canadian institutions, Canadians should be asking tough questions.
So you know what the funniest thing about this is? My latest video, if you haven't yet seen it, is about India media just currently, in the past couple of days, completely shitting on Justin Trudeau for his plane glitching in his most recent trip to Jamaica, which, haha, you guessed it, cost $80,000, if not more, in just accommodations. So did Pierre do that? Did he reach out to India media and be like, hey, any billionaire friends in India that want to just poke fun at Justin Trudeau so that I can become prime minister? I highly doubt that. So any of the points that Trudeau just brought of like, oh, Pierre's using very influential people to shit on me, that's not really relevant. The whole world does it. I'm not influenced by Pierre. Like, he's not paying me. He's not saying, hey, Mr. Sunshine, in an email, can you make another video about Trudeau? No, it's fun. He doesn't have to tell me to do it. There's no real incentive or motive other than it's fun and you deserve to be shit on, Justin Trudeau. You are a horrible, horrible human being. If Elon Musk, which he's a very brilliant man and yeah, a very wealthy and influential person, he's likely come to that own conclusion himself because you have shown the whole world, Mr. Trudeau, that you are a piece of garbage. Anyways, let's segue out of that one and get into Pierre Poilievre just completely pushing Trudeau's buttons to the point where he kind of throws a tantrum. And Pierre tells Canadians to Google it.
Opposition.
Well, it's now clear why he wants to censor the internet, Mr. Speaker. He doesn't want Canadians to go and find out which of us is telling the truth. It would be very easy for them. I encourage them to Google a distributional analysis of the federal fuel charge on the 2030 emissions reduction plan. Page 3. If you're out there watching, Google it now. You will see the Prime Minister is deliberately misinforming the House of Commons by stating that Canadians will be better off when clearly the average household will pay more than $1,500 more in taxes than they get back. Would the Prime Minister like me to have one of the pages send this document over so that he can read it?
The Right Honourable Leader, the Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative government would still choose, the Conservative opposition still chooses to contend that there is no cost to enact.
The Conservative government. Everybody's going nuts because he said the Conservative government. Great points, past tense, Jasper. Yes, Justin Trudeau is pretty much predicting the future, the Conservative government. And, well, since this video, which was, again, 8 months ago, it's pretty much on the same time frame as the video that we just watched. Yeah, Trudeau predicted that he would be sitting around 1% in the polls, which, haha, he is. Get used to it. Oh, yeah. Bye-bye.
Get used to it.
I want.
I did not see that coming.
To maybe take direction from their whip.
Sorry.
Just look at her or him. I mean, like, you know, but and just listen. You're good? Okay, I got your word for it. Good. I'll take their word for it.
I would actually like to know down in the comments which House Speaker you prefer. The one who invited a Nazi into Parliament, or Greg Fergus, who has multiple ethics violations and already is on his way to be kicked out as House Speaker after less than a month. Please let me know down in the comments on a scale of 1 to yes, how fucked up is Canada?
Prime Minister from the top.
Mr. Speaker, the Conservative Party of Canada continues to refuse to understand that you cannot have a plan for the future of the economy if you do not have a plan to fight climate change. They are continuing to choose to mislead Canadians, to confuse the issue, and to harm workers across this country. If Volkswagen chose to come to invest in Canada, if Rio Tinto is making investments in Canada, if ArcelorMittal is investing in Hamilton, these are things that are happening because of the leadership Canadians, Canadian government, Canadian workers are showing in tackling climate change and building a stronger future.
So Volkswagen did not choose to build a plant in Canada. Canada bribed Volkswagen with, maybe I can get fact checked here in the comments, it was several $billion. I don't know if it was like 3 billion or 7 or 10 or 15 or 20. You know, we paid them to come here. That's right. Yeah, Canada is such a bad state for our economy that we have to pay massive corporations to come and work here. Like, we have to bribe people. That's the state of Canada, everybody. It's quite sad and a little bit pathetic, and we all want change. At least we can all agree on that. We all want and deserve change.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Mr. Speaker, he does not have an environmental plan. He has a tax plan. Since he brought in the carbon tax, he has not succeeded in reaching a single solitary emissions reduction target. That is because taxing people for something they have no choice but to use does not change the environment, Mr. Speaker. Canadians have to drive. They have to heat their homes. But this Prime Minister chooses to put the burden on the working class, 60% of whom will pay more in taxes than they get back in rebates, instead of putting it on himself. Why doesn't he cancel his hypocritical, high-flying lifestyle and the tax at the same time?
Wow.
Honourable Prime Minister.
Because he's a narcissist.
Speaker, the Leader of the Opposition has a significant task ahead of him in convincing Canadians over the next couple of years that it would be better for them if we didn't fight climate change, if we didn't show leadership on the environment, if we didn't show investments in cleaner technologies, convincing people in St. Thomas that it is a waste of money to be investing in the Volkswagen plant. These are the kinds of things that he's going to have to try and convince Canadians of. And all the fancy rhetoric he tries to use will not fool Canadians. The reality is Canadians know environment and economy go together.
Thanks for. Okay, if anyone ever said, "Whoa, that's the old setup." Okay, we've made some changes since then. If anyone ever says the reality of the situation or the reality is, that's a liberal talking point. Now, I use that to make fun of liberal talking points and then I follow it up with the reality is, not to sound like a liberal, and that's how I say that. So just be cautious and careful if you ever hear anyone say that. That is a liberal talking point. That's where we're going to end today's video, folks. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about what we just talked about and what we just went over. And Pierre, without glasses, that was a good look, buddy. Awesome. Keep it up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't yet already, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now.